This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world. Our next guests on Femme House Radio are Hildegard, which is the new project from experimental singer-songwriter Helena Deland and multi-instrumentalist and producer Ori. The two Montreal musicians got in a studio together for 8 days in 2018 and wrote an album that came out on June 4th that is spectacular. It is experimental and deep and beautiful and electronic, and I absolutely love it. Welcome to Femme House Radio, you two.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
I read your amazing bio after listening to your music, and the line that goes, "There is beauty through the grotesque," really seems wonderfully fitting for your music. Your songs have such amazing energy, hard and intense, yet feminine and soft. It seems like you play with opposing ideas in a way that really fits. Was this intentional in a premeditated way, or something that naturally progressed as you got in the studio together?
Something that came naturally. There was absolutely no plan of doing this kind of music to like create a band or anything. It was really something that felt natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think
Beautiful.
that the kind of dichotomy that comes through in the music is a lot of like harder feelings being expressed, but then they're kind of coded in the joy of being able to express them together.
Mm-hmm.
That is so beautiful. Yeah, you two seem like you balance each other in a very, very cool way. The folk background, the electronic background, I am living for it, truly.
Thanks.
So
and
how
the
did you two
friendship
meet?
is amazing too. Like it's a silly, deep friendship.
Oh, that is beautiful. Well, so how did you two meet? What is the origin story of your project?
It was like, these groups where like you don't feel like you can actually create bonds with people that really interest you. And then a couple of years later, like our manager invited us to like spend some time in the studio together, and we were excited but chill about it. And when it started, it was actually like the most exciting experience ever, and we just like bonded so deeply. We just like became one musically, and we created, each day we were documenting what was happening between us.
Yeah, it felt like a very surprising, very like fiery encounter.
I feel that fire. Yes, I feel like you capture that very well in your music. Ori, how did you find yourself in electronic music? It's also what I do, so.
But I was French living in Paris, and I was obsessed with electronic music, but I was a classically trained musician. And when I left Montreal, I was like, I'm gonna do electronic music. I'm gonna produce my own stuff. I'm not gonna stay like a cellist forever. So as soon as I arrived here, my first thing was going to Picnic Electronic, going to all the underground like raves and stuff. So this is where I like nurtured my love for electronic music.
I love that you play the cello. That's pretty badass. I started playing classical piano, and then I found my way into electronic music, and it was a journey to get to a place where I was like making the music I actually wanted to be, or making the music I was hearing in my head. So how was that? Did you start using Ableton? Like, how was that process for you?
Absolutely. I just like bought Ableton, and like I started to like I was only spending my time on Ableton for 3 months, I think. And now it's like one of my favorite things to do, but it used to be super painful.
That was exactly my experience. Incredibly painful. I'm like, why am I doing this? Beating my head against the wall. And now I like can't imagine not, every day opening it and playing around. It feels like playing finally, which took so long. I spent my last, $800 that I had in my bank account on Ableton and then Complete for the plugins when I moved to LA. And I was like, this is
either the dumbest thing I've ever done, or it's gonna work out. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Good for you. And Helena, you have a background in it's like more of a folk singer songwriter background.
Yeah, exactly. Which is I'm actually kind of contemplating, like, listening to you talk about Ableton is inspiring me. I'm still in the phase where I'm a bit like I got Logic and I'm messing around with that, but like I wish I haven't done the painful like submission to rigor yet, and I want to. So
okay, you're clearly the lyricist. Painful submission to rigor is like is that a song you're about to write? That was remarkable. I don't know if y'all know this, but Femme House is actually, it's a nonprofit, it's a 501c3, and we have free workshops every month they're all in Ableton. So, drum programming one month and like audio recording, signal flow, whatever, another month. And then we have in-depth classes. So this community was built because my experience trying to get into this was so painful for me that I was like, okay, once I get to a good place, we're starting a community that we're like a safe space of learning, and hopefully to make it slightly easier. So if you're ever being called, we're here for you. And it's all online, so you can take it from anywhere whenever you want. Kind of vibe.
Cool.
But
that sounds awesome. Amazing.
And I found that I really got inspired to start this because I was living in LA and I was meeting so many crazy talented singer-songwriters who sort of had to be partnered with a producer in some way to like get out their ideas and their songs actually. And so this like weird power dynamic was forming. This is why I'm so excited to talk to both of you, two women who have come together to do this, because it's, producers are generally male. And so this like power dynamic hierarchy thing was, so I just wanted to give women the tools to like put out their own songs if they wanted to, or if they didn't want to sort of wait for that moment. So anyways,
that's super interesting. Like we definitely like experienced some sort of ego death, and it was made easier like probably because we're two women and we wanted to like actually have a horizontal relationship and not have like this super like structure. We work hard, like we're not like carried by the vibe. We work hard, but it was nice to like it's true, I don't know how to explain it, but
totally.
Yeah.
1,000%. It's just the ego death that's really interesting. I think that it is sort of maybe easier for us to get there. So like getting to work together, like the two of you in the studio is, honestly, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall. And after listening to your music, like I definitely wish I could have been a fly on the wall. It is, and I'll get into this in a bit, but it is so powerful. I was listening to it late last night, just trying to get to know you two better, and like it got me so excited. It was genuine. It was really hard to fall asleep. It like really pumped. It's because it's like really feminine, really intense feminine energy, but also so hard, and masculine in a way. It just like has this really awesome yin yang balance. I'm in love with it. Are you so excited for tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a bit scary too. I always feel like this is the last day of not having it out there, and it's like me.
Totally.
Also a little protective. Like I don't know what is going on exactly, but yeah, definitely very very excited. I guess it's also like anticipatory nostalgia to say another random thing, but like it's like this is the like tomorrow it's out and then it's out forever, so.
Right. Oh, I know. Like the journey part is actually the really fun part, but also
totally. Once
you release it, it's like this is how I at least interact with releases. Once I release it, it's just simply not for me anymore, so like right now It feels like it's still for you two, and then once it's out in the world, it's like sort of the baby that you're letting go, of course. But this is a really nostalgic part. I think it's exciting. So because the first three, so the songs that you have on Spotify right now are those three tracks, are those living on your album, which is 8 tracks as I understand it?
Yeah. Exactly.
This is so, and so then the other ones are going to be 4 through 8?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear those, because I was listening to 1, 2, 3 like in repeat last night. So I'm like, what is the rest of the journey going to sound like? Ego death, I guess maybe. So the artwork is also fantastic. Melissa Melissa Matos, if I'm saying that right. How did y'all get connected with her, and how did that collaboration come?
She was a visual artist that I really admired, and I've been in one of the videos she directed, and then she asked me to do the music for a project, and I was like, kind of, oh my god, I want to ask her, I want to work with her for a project. And I remember going to London and showing her like the demos, and at some point I was like, this, I think what Helena and I created could be like championed by her skills, you know? And we asked her, and she was super down, and she formed this superhero team, and of like designers and like, I don't know, coders and photographers, stylists, everyone.
Yeah, her philosophy is so cool. She just wants to like give opportunities to people, and she's accepted to do this for, you know, kind of a reduced budget, obviously. So like,
amazing.
We're very, grateful for.
Yeah.
So awesome. Are there videos in the future for music videos for this?
Yeah.
Well, we've released 3 so far for the singles.
Oh, I didn't see the music videos. Oh shoot. Okay, amazing. Whoa, when did you make those?
Kind of like recently, actually.
Yeah.
Came together pretty quickly, which is fun. It's fun to be like spontaneous, or not spontaneous, but kind of more instantaneous with visuals, because they get older so fast that it's nice that at the moment of releasing them, they still feel like fresh.
So
Absolutely.
Awesome. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, now I have something to look forward to. This is exciting. Watching those. So you're both solo acts normally, solo artists, right? I oftentimes think I'm also a solo act, and sometimes I'll see like bands or duos, you know, and think I have this like intense jealousy about the process of getting to share a project, share all the ups and the downs with somebody so intimately, you know, like I guess like hold the weight of the fear and the excitement and all of that. So what is the difference for you two in that, getting to share that with somebody this time?
It's really amazing, like the way we work in the studio too. Like there's a lot of like, we switch places and roles, and like everything goes so fast. Whenever there's a problem, the other one has an idea. It's just like an endless like energetic ping pong, and this is it's been super easy, seriously, and fun, and not super easy. Like we have challenges, but I feel super grateful.
Yeah, it's true. And like the kind of, we were saying, the internal audience is kind of silenced, and then it can be like a feedback loop of like, is this good? And then you're like, yeah, and then you're like, no. And it's, whereas when with having some people there, it's just already like, it takes care of, you know, a bad idea will be like strayed away from, and a good idea will be developed upon, which is already such a like efficient part of collaborating.
Yeah. I love that you said internal audience as your like internal voice. That's a really cool way to put it. I feel like sometimes mine is like the internal devil. So audience is a lot better of a name. But that is so true, to have just somebody else to be like, because then I'm constantly like kind of questioning myself, and it's just something I've had to learn to deal with or get better at or ignore, you know, but just to have somebody else to just yes or no it right away. Oh, what a gift. Will there be, maybe this is an unfair question that you can't answer yet, but do you think there'll be more coming from you two, or do you plan on getting back in the studio together?
Yeah, we're really excited. I'm so excited about it.
Oh! Yeah. That is...
Anyway, that's going to take the time it takes, really. But
yeah. This is so cool. And at some point, will there be a live show to accompany this?
Absolutely.
I love that. I work with W Hotels also, and they W Montreal does a lot of really cool music stuff. Their team really cares about supporting, you know, whatever. And they're doing some bigger shows this year too. If you're ever looking for a place to try some stuff out, let me know. Both in Montreal, yeah. And then they were sort of doing some like routing some smaller tours amongst all that. There's 50 properties in North America.
Oh my God,
so.
thank you.
So hit me up. I love your project. I'm obsessed with it. Honestly, I couldn't believe I was like a kind of straightforward electronic artist, dance artist. I was in this experimental, weird, like synth sci-fi art band. And it was like vintage synthesizers and like just weird. And listening to, I mean, your stuff is a lot more like mature and focused, but it made me feel like nostalgic in the coolest way of like, man, if I didn't go this route, this is the route I would have wanted to go musically. Like it just feels
Thank you so much.
So awesome. Oh, I'm obsessed.
Thank you so much.
That's like the best thing
deep.
to hear. Honestly, like it's so cool to hear that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it really struck me as like from a place of like, it just feels like you're making art. But what's so cool, it's so clearly art, but it's also danceable and it's also like electronic music, and it has this like very kind of straightforward, almost like bass, but then like everything around it is just so arty and awesome and like makes me feel like I was feeling like intellectual, and it was a really cool experience listening to it. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to see this project in a live space is what I kept thinking. Like, what is this like live? So I really hope that happens one day soon. How has your last year pandemic been for each of you? Because I know you recorded this in 2018 before the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, we started the when the quarantine, I think, or like, anyways, March 16th, we were together like for 2 weeks outside in the country in a studio, and we started creating like new sounds, and it was like kind of a chaotic world around us, and we were trying to like do something. It was, if you want to continue.
It was crazy to witness the like the world shutting down together in the countryside, and this kind of ties into like how much we feel that the space we're in inspires the music. But like when I listen back to those songs we made, in March 2020, they're definitely like angsty and kind of like just I hear like, I think it's really interesting that we were creating music around then, because we have like this document of like what that was like.
No kidding. Yeah. That's so interesting, because when I started making music in March of 2020 after having 42 shows canceled.
Oh my God.
And being like, wait, do I have to pivot? Whoa. What am I going to do with my life? Actually, I started making extremely happy music. Like it's all like just freakishly like beautiful and positive, and so it was interesting that I guess I just was trying to make music for the opposite I felt, because I wanted to feel differently, because I was so terrified and sad and depressed. So I think that's so cool that you just like leaned into that and just put that all out there. Ooh, I can't wait to hear that stuff. Tell us tell us about the figure that is Hildegard and why you named your project that.
I was studying counterpoint, I think in 2018, and I remember listening to the Canticles of Ecstasy and bringing that piece to Helena, and we discovered her together after like discovered the multifaceted figure that she is. And if you want to continue, Helena.
I was really surprised to kind of discover the life of a 12th century nun whose story had survived the erasure of women in medieval times and in history, and a sexist history in general, and her life seemed so diverse and completely mystically enlightened, and it's as an homage to her that we decided to call our project Hildegard.
I'll tell you what, I've been doing these interviews for quite a bit, and so far nobody has mentioned counterpoint or figures of the past being raised in sexist society and how that has affected current music today. I mean, truly my mind is blown right now. This project is so special and so deep, but also completely listenable, on just like a body level. So that balance is so cool. What can we expect from you two in the future?
More music, more music.
Yeah, we're working hard to preserve the, candid, like, instantaneous, like, kind of, yeah, I want to say magic almost that happens when we're not, when our egos are not getting between us and what we're making, and it's not easy, but, like, that's what we want to do.
That is beautiful. Okay, and last question. What is your favorite thing about the other person?
Oh my God, there are too many!
Yeah, there are too many. I love the extreme refinement, yet like freedom that Helena brings every time in the studio. But I love the fact that she's super silly. Like, she's the craziest person ever, and that brings me a lot of joy.
Well, only around you.
Only.
It can only be that with someone who matches the silliness. But yeah, I think, thank you. That's so sweet. I'm like eternally impressed by your like how you balance deep listening in any context. Like, yeah, I just feel like if it's us talking or us playing, you just really, really are there to hear. And also your mind is like so creative. It's really like, beyond intimidating.
Oh, this is so cool. I love this. You two have come together in the most special way. It is inspiring and empowering. It feels very empowering. So thank you so much for your work and your project and the work you've done individually and together on this. It is an honor to have you on Femme House Radio.
Thank you so much.
LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.